All right. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to Raw Law Unfiltered with your host, the DUI Guy Plus. Today, we are going to be talking about a very special and interesting topic that a lot of people have been asking me questions about because this is a very, very hot topic right now, first of all, first and foremost. And secondly, sorry I was late, you all, by the way. I really had to put something in my stomach before I went live. But the title of the video, okay, let's just talk about the title of the video first, because this is literally going to be what this video is about, right? Can Jeremy Hales personally, because George, even though Jeremy and George run the channel, it's clear that Judge DeThomasis has said, you, Jeremy, are What the Hales' channel, and What the Hales' channel is you, Jeremy, which is inaccurate. It's not true. It's incorrect. It's improper. Whatever. That's how the Judge DeThomasis of Levy County, Florida sees it, which is wrong. But that's how he sees it. So everything that he does, even though it also affects George, I mean, her potential for like a lawsuit against someone like Judge DeThomasis is much, much, much lower threshold and much less damages in the legal sense. Because at the end of the day, look, she can't possess a firearm around Jeremy because Jeremy can't have a firearm, according to Judge DeThomasis, as of the December 4th, 2023 order. But at the same time, this is going to affect George, right? So God forbid, something happens to them, knock on wood, they may in some capacity have a lawsuit. But then the question becomes, as the title of the video suggests, can you have a lawsuit against a judge, a sitting presiding judge? And the answer is not so simple. The obvious answer, can you sue a judge? Of course, yes. The answer is yes, you can. However, it comes with a lot of caveats. And for the most part, actually, the universal answer is no. You cannot sue a judge. Well, wait a minute, Larry. You just told us 3 seconds ago, you idiot. I thought you were a lawyer. Why are you contradicting yourself? You just said, yes, you can. And then you said, no, you can't in the same breath. How did you do that? That's because there are exceptions. The universal rule, okay, when it comes to government officials, for the most part, like police officers, sometimes clerks, prosecutors, judges, for the most part, most prosecutors and judges are actually kind of a hybrid. They're more like in their own category, and some clerks too. But let's take the easy one. Let's take the easy one for a second, okay? Police officers. Can a police, if they, shoot somebody and you believe they were shot wrongfully, or you killed somebody and the estate believes that they were killed wrongfully? Of course, we know the answer is yes. These happen all across the country. But then we hear that magical phrase, qualified immunity. Qualified immunity. What is qualified immunity, right? The literal definition of qualified immunity is it protects government officials from civil liability for violating statutory or constitutional rights. So as long as you can overcome that threshold, saying that a reasonable person would believe, it's always a reasonable person standard when it comes to that kind of stuff. It's a very common thing in law. And a reasonable person would believe that the police officer acted wrongfully, the qualified immunity is lifted, and now you can prosecute your civil case, right? I say prosecute, it's a loaded term. You're basically the prosecutor. You are suing the police officer for money. When it comes to judges and prosecutors, they have something very, very unique. And it's called, my brain literally just, the error kicked in, and I was so stuck on qualified immunity, my brain kind of skipped a beat. I apologize. Absolute immunity. Okay? Absolute immunity. And what is it? You might think, wait a minute, hold on a second. Absolute immunity, Mr. Foreman? Really? So I can never sue a judge no matter what they do ever, 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 ever. No, that's not what I'm saying. Although the term absolute in common parlance, in normal human speak, means absolutely, right? Oh, would you like to eat some chocolate? Absolutely. You're not going to be like, are you sure you do want to eat some chocolate? You said absolutely, but what does that mean? What do you mean what I mean? I mean, absolutely. I want to eat some chocolate. Are you stupid? Just give me the chocolate. Nom, 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 nom. In the legal sense, absolute immunity means you absolutely cannot sue a judge in their professional capacity as long as they're acting within the professional capacity. Okay, that is the term. Now, here's where it gets really fucked up. You guys ready for this? I'm going to share something with you all that well, first of all, let's do this. Okay, cuz I want to share it on the screen. I have it in another place. But by the way, before we get to this, I have to share this with you all. I almost forgot. Here, check this out. Somebody, not somebody, I know who this is now. DJ Radis made another video. And have you guys seen this? This is so funny. Just listen to this. DJ Radis featuring Larry Foreman, the DUI guy. Judge Craig DeThomasis, wave bye, bye, bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you better get ready. Just got real. Please welcome the real deal. He's the only DJ that makes your girl take her clothes off. Oh, yeah. Your baby mama's favorite DJ. DJ Radis.
In the courtroom drama, there's a judge they used to know, Craig DeThomasis. The voice is so on point. Rulings fast and slow. But something happened, turned the tables all around. Now he's facing disbarment, and it's time to get out. Once he was the law with authority supreme, but now he's on the outside. It's like a bad dream. With his briefcase packed and his reputation cracked, he's got to find a new path. There's no turning back. Hey, hey, Judge DeThomasis, wave bye, bye, bye to the courtroom where you used to preside. Hey, hey, Judge DeThomasis, wave bye, bye, bye to the courtroom where you used to preside. Hey, hey, Judge DeThomasis, wave bye, bye, bye to the courtroom where you used to preside. Hey, hey, Judge DeThomasis, wave bye, bye, bye to the courtroom where you used to preside. Hey, hey, Judge DeThomasis, wave bye, bye, bye to the courtroom where you used to preside. Your gavel's gone silent. Your robe's left behind. It's time to say farewell to your legal grind. The verdict's in, the judgment's clear. No more courtroom drama for this former peer. He'll reminisce on trials won and lost, but now it's time to pay the cost. So long, Judge DeThomasis, it's the end of the line. We told you to buckle up, but you chose to decline. The verdict is out and you had never foreseen. For now, it's goodbye to the courtroom scene. Hey, hey, Judge DeThomasis, wave bye, bye, bye to the courtroom where you used to preside.
It's so catchy.
Hey, hey, Judge DeThomasis, wave bye, bye, bye to the courtroom where you used to preside. Hey, hey, Judge DeThomasis, wave bye, bye, bye to the courtroom where you used to preside. Hey, hey, Judge DeThomasis, wave bye, bye, bye to the courtroom where you used to preside. Hey, hey, Judge DeThomasis, wave bye, bye, bye to the courtroom where you used to preside.
Go subscribe to Larry Foreman, the DUI guy, on both YouTube and Twitter. Show me some love by subscribing to me on both YouTube and Twitter too. Join us on Facebook. Search for Otter Creek FL and the Shady Bunch.
Go subscribe to him, you guys. He's the real deal. He's so funny. He already doubled in subscribers since we first checked in with him. So I hope you all enjoyed this. This is like, how do you come up with this shit, man? This is so good. Judge DeThomasis, wave bye, bye, bye to the courtroom you used to preside. I'm gonna do the live version one day and then just play the. If you can send me the tune, I will do a little live version one day because obviously it's not my voice. I did not rap. I don't rap. I'm a terrible rapper, although I'm sure I can try. And anyway, all right. Oh, and before I forget, also I wanted to show this to you guys. I have a bunch of new merch in my store. So go check it out. We have a bunch of buckle up shirts and they say the DUI guy plus on the back. They're simple, they're elegant, and you should get one. They're in the store under my channel, home videos, shorts, lives, playlists, community membership, store, under store. If you just hit click on store and you click on any of these, it will take you to the store and there's a bunch more stuff. a bunch of merch. I mean, I'll swear to you, these shirts are so expensive. I lowered as much as I can. I literally make like $3 on these shirts. It's more about you guys. I don't care about. I make my money in my regular practice and on YouTube. Merch to me is like a secondary. So I lowered as much as I can. Like I said, I make like $3 a shirt. So it's just for you all. If you want, like, there's one in black, purple, red. There's another gray one, a blue one. It's awesome. Hashtag buckle up. This is so good. Love you, DJ Raz. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Fubar DeBias. I think you keep changing your name. First you were ugh, and now you're Fubar DeBias. DeBiases, right? That's the DeThomasis' new name, DeBiases. Are you going to represent Jeremy in court asking for a friend? Maybe. I don't know. He's got good lawyers. He's taken care of. He doesn't need me in a lawyer capacity. I'd much rather be his PR manager, his public relations manager than what's it called? His lawyer. But who knows? I mean, I can practice in all 50 states. I just have to pro hack Vici into it. Susan Scataregia. I love pronouncing that. Scataregia. So Italian. Scataregia. Where's the pasta? Miss Scataregia, bring me the pasta. Okay, you racist. Shut up, Larry. I need help to become a member. I'm loving the DUI guy on your message on many cases. Are you okay? So we learned this a long time ago during the Johnny Depp trial. If you're on an iPhone and you're trying to like hit the join on as a member on an iPhone, it does not work. I mean, it's been like 2 years and they still haven't fucking fixed it. Please don't ask me. If the easiest way is to subscribe and join on as a member as a on an Android or on your computer or Mac. So PC or Mac. Sorry you're having so much trouble, but if you're trying to join on as a member on an iPhone, it does not work. So you're going to keep trying. We don't know how to fix it. It's impossible. The easiest way is to just use another method. Also, don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel, join on as a member, turn on those notification bells, and of course, buy some merch if you're so inclined. If you want to support the cause here, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. This is it, folks, right here. This is as good as it gets. Judge DeThomasis. Buckle up, Judge Craig DeThomasis. Classic tea. I mean, classic. Just classic. I love it. Happy life. Thank you for joining on as a member. Same goes to Deborah McKinnon and Cindy Ackerman. Thank you all. And Lilith says, why didn't Jeremy Hales' attorney file for an emergency hearing to lift the weapons part of the TRO and Jeremy was physically attacked? We didn't get to the merits. I agree with you. I wish that we had time for it, but the judge refuses to listen to the merits. So it's just the way it is. So, all right, let's get back to the video. Can Jeremy Hales sue Judge Craig DeThomasis? Now, this comes from, of course, as always, we got to start with the law. We got to start with the law, and we got to start with the statutes, and we got to start with some oaths. We're going to be going deep into the rabbit hole today, okay? Stump versus Sparkman, 435 U.S. 349. It's a 1978 United States Supreme Court decision, the highest court in the land. It came from the United States Court of Appeals for the Seventh Circuit. And basically, it was a situation where they held, well, that doesn't really matter what they held, to be completely honest with you. All we really care about is this right here. When can a judge be held responsible, and when can a judge be sued? Okay, so actually, let's start here. This is going to be easier to understand, I think, chronologically speaking. So in the United States, when it comes to judicial immunity, this is from Wikipedia. I think Wikipedia is going to be a good starting spot, just so that you all kind of get a feel for it, because it gets complicated and gets very, very hairy very quickly. And even as a lawyer, I'm just like, what? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Whatever. Judicial immunity protects judges, but it does not protect them from judges stemming from administrative decisions made while off the bench, like hiring and firing decisions. But immunity There it is. Does extend, and this is where it gets frightening. Judicial immunity is absolute and extends to all judicial decisions in which the judge has proper jurisdiction, even if the decision is made with corrupt or malicious intent. Folks, you heard that correctly. A judge can be sitting on the bench and going, you know what? I have been paid under the table to screw you over, Mr. Litigant. And he can literally look him dead in the eye and say, I have been paid off. And I hate your face. And I'm ruling against you and I'm dismissing your lawsuit. You just admitted to bribery. You just admitted to corruption. You just admitted to ruling based nothing related to the law. You just admitted to all these things. And you can't sue the judge. The judge is completely untouchable. That is absolute immunity. That is how powerful they are. Let that sink in for a moment. Absolute immunity means I can look you as a judge dead in the eye and say, I have been bribed, I am corrupted, and I'm dismissing your suit because I hate your face. And did you read the motion, Judge? No, I'm not going to read your motion. I don't care about the law. Now, of course, a judge does that from the bench. They're going to be removed fairly quickly, especially if they're openly admitting to it. You know, there are safeguards, like we said. There's the executive branch, there is the legislative branch, and they keep a check and balance on the judge. So the governor of that state can come in and say, all right, we're removing this guy, he or gal. They're completely corrupt. They don't deserve to be on the bench. Let them be removed. Or they're going through an impeachment process with the legislative branch. You know, the House of Representatives and the Senate will sit in. And I think it's either 2/3 majority or 3/4 majority. They vote and the judge is out, right? So with that in mind, okay, with that in mind, notice the first sentence. Judicial immunity does not protect judges from lawsuits stemming from administrative decisions. So if I, a sitting judge, let's say, fire a clerk, one of my clerks is pregnant and she's African American, and I say, you know what? I don't like you because you're black, and I don't like you because you're pregnant, so I'm going to fire you, and yada, 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 as the judge, makes that horrendous decision based on race and the fact that she is pregnant because she can't work as efficiently and all that. That the judge can be sued over. There is no immunity for that. Okay? There's no immunity for that. Am I mirrored again? I swear, you guys, I have to check every single time. Thank you for letting me know. Is this better? There we go. So that is the protections judges enjoy. So as long as their decisions are made from the bench for litigants, against litigants, and against litigants coming to practice before them, like Jeremy, like Randy, like Doreen, like Silverman, like Lynette, he has a carte blanche. You know what a carte blanche is? It's a white card. You know what a white card is? They used to give those out in like the 30s and 40s. It's basically, literally, the get out of jail free card used to be a real thing. You know, you get some favor with the policeman or with the governor or with the mayor. They'll give you one white card that you can fill out, and like the next crime you commit or get caught with or whatever, you can fill out. It's signed by the mayor. It's completely blank. And that's what it is. It's a carte blanche. It originated in France, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But I believe it because the phrase carte blanche, it's French. And you could literally write whatever you wanted on it. And one day, you get arrested or your buddy gets arrested. It's like, hey, I got a carte blanche and all sins are forgiven. Now, thank God we did away with that like formality, like formally we got rid of it. However, what's fascinating is that judges have a carte blanche. They can do whatever they want so long as they're acting in the capacity of their duties as a sitting judge. The minute they leave the bench and they have a clerk and they're like, you're fired because you're pregnant, if they discriminate, you're fired because you're African American, or they I don't know, anything of that nature that's non-criminal in the civil capacity, then they still can be sued over. And the obvious one, I already talked about this. This is rare, but imagine the Judge DeThomasis is like, Mr. Hales and Mr. Shochet and Ms. Inkeles, please come forward. And then he just lines them up like the Three Stooges and goes, pow, 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 slaps all three of them across the face. That's assault and battery. That's a crime. He can be charged and prosecuted for a crime. Even though he was acting from the bench, he's not acting in his judicial capacity, even though he's sitting in his judicial position. He can be criminally prosecuted for his acts because they do not relate to anything either judicial or administrative. These are personal things. Make sense? Okay. So, and this all comes, of course, like I said, Wikipedia is just a good place to start, but please don't ever, I think people cite Wikipedia nowadays, and more power to you. You do what you feel is necessary for you to learn things, because Wikipedia used to be kind of really judged, and now it's really, really used a lot. Where is that quote that I was looking for? Sorry, I lost it. The judge will be deprived of immunity because the action he took was an error. There we go, right here. That's the text that I need. Okay. So there it is. United States Supreme Court, 1978, Stump versus Sparkman, 435 U.S. 349. That's an ad. A judge, there it is, right here. Look at this. This is insane. This is insanity. A judge will not be deprived of immunity because the action he took was an error, was done maliciously, or in excess of his authority, but rather will be subject to liability only when he acted in the clear absence of all jurisdiction. That is the only time you can sue a judge, according to the United States Supreme Court as of 1978. So for the last, 46 years. The last 46 years, that has been standing law. And judges, as we can see, are starting to take advantage of this fact. This is absolute immunity. This is not qualified immunity that like police officers enjoy. Okay? So Stump versus Sparkman is very on point. It's very direct. It's very clear. There's no ambiguity. A judge will not be deprived, I'm going to read it again, of immunity because the action he took was an error, was done maliciously, or was in excess of his authority, but rather he will be subject to liability only when he acted in the clear absence of jurisdiction. So for example, let's say right now, Judge DeThomasis goes on the bench, calls all the parties back, and on Monday, let's say, Monday morning, he says, Mr. Hales, I am incarcerating you. I'm throwing you in jail until the Court of Appeals for the Florida First Circuit makes a ruling on my writ. And then everybody goes, wait a minute, for what? Why are you throwing him in jail? Why are you throwing Jeremy in jail? That's it. Gavel drops. I ruled. I have ruled. And Jeremy would be taken away in handcuffs, thrown in jail for the next few months while the Court of Appeals decides the writ that has been filed on Friday morning at 5:55 in the morning. For that, he can be sued. Why? Because the moment of the writ is filed, he loses jurisdiction over the case. I had a very similar experience. I think I've shared this ad nauseum on my channel, but I will share it with you all again because, again, this is very relevant. I had a judge do the exact same thing to me, not the exact same, similar. So I'm no stranger to judges acting, unruly. Actually, this is, you know what? I'm going to show you guys a different video. Watch this. Watch this video. I want. Here we go. Very sua sponte for the court. I would like to know what exactly is happening. Firstly, do we have an answer from Chief Justice Mindy? Because until we
we're not even getting to that yet. I'm asking you about. I had asked you if your client was going to be here. You said yes.
He is available. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, where is he?
He is near the courthouse.
Okay, can he be here for this?
This was 4 years ago.
No, Your Honor.
Why?
Because we are waiting.
So a little bit of context. What is happening here? The judge asked me and my client to come in. And I am coming in by myself because she has lost jurisdiction. We filed a similar writ in a way. It's called something different in Kentucky. And I honestly haven't done it in 4 years, so I don't remember what it's called. And I haven't looked it up prior to doing this video. But we filed a similar thing. We filed a motion to recuse, same as motion to disqualify in Florida, just a different name, same action. The judge refused to recuse herself. She said, no, I'm not removing myself. So we filed a writ of prohibition equivalent with the Chief Justice Minton, the Supreme Court judge. And while we were waiting for him to rule, because we kind of skip the Court of Appeals. We go straight to the Supremes in Kentucky. And while we're waiting on Minton, that's how it works here procedurally. While we're waiting on Minton to rule, she has lost jurisdiction completely. And she still called us into the courtroom. Let me play the video over. Now that you have some context, I think this will explain better. Watch this. She called us back into the courtroom. There's a heated exchange that begins right when I walk in, and she scrambles. She's like, "Oh, I forgot to press record." Like we go on the record. Watch again. This is literally how the video starts. There's a little bit of an exchange beforehand, but it's never been memorialized because she forgot to hit the button. This is all being sprung on very sua sponte for the court. I would like to know what exactly is happening. Firstly, do we have an answer from Chief Justice Minton? Because until we
we're not even getting to that yet. I'm asking you I had asked you if your client was going to be here. You said yes.
He is available. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, where is he?
He is near the courthouse.
And right here, I literally tell the judge, I telepathically say it. I don't say it out loud, but I'm like, he's near the courthouse. Because she wants my client in there, but she has no jurisdiction over him. Now I'm in there because I have to protect him. So I had to be there in the flesh. But the judge is like, no, bring your client in here. Watch what happens.
Okay, can he be here for this?
No, Your Honor. Why? Because we are waiting for Chief Justice Minton. The court is stripped of jurisdiction on this case.
Okay, Mr. Foreman, first of all.
My apologies. I'm just trying to emphasize.
She did not like the word stripped of jurisdiction, which is true. And she knows it's true.
The procedural
I asked
process.
you a question before you walked out if Mr. Hillsman was going to be here, and you said yes. You didn't
For
say
purposes of trial, absolutely.
Okay, that is not what you said. That is not what
then
we talked about.
Allow me to correct myself.
Okay, I'd
Mr.
like you to
Hillsman?
stop interrupting me is what I would like to start with.
My apologies. Emotions are high. You'll have to excuse me. May I have a moment?
Yes, you
Thank
may.
you.
I suggest taking.
May I speak?
Yes.
Thank you. Counsel has filed a motion pursuant to KRS 268.020. Information has been sent to Chief Justice Minton to decide whether or not to recuse Your Honor from this case.
And I've talked with Justice Minton's office. And my question to you was, before we got started, when you walked out of here, I said, is Mr. Hillsman going to be here at 1? You said yes.
I would like to resolve the issues in order, if you would, Your Honor.
Okay.
Because the court has no jurisdiction over Mr. Hillsman at this juncture over the case.
We're not
There it
even
is. There it is. I call her out. The court does not have jurisdiction over Mr. Hillsman, my client, in this case. You don't have jurisdiction. Judges do not like hearing that.
Because the court has no jurisdiction over Mr. Hillsman at this juncture over the case.
We're not even talking about that at this time. I asked you a question, you gave me an answer. And you're here sitting by yourself. That is what I'm going by. It has nothing to do with whether or not I asked, do you recall me asking, is Mr. Hillsman going to be here?
I do.
And what was your response?
I said, yes, sir, on accident because I was talking with Mr.
stop her, realizing I crossed paths in my mind, and I said, "Yes, Your Honor." What I meant by that is if we are to begin trial at 1 o'clock, Mr. Hillsman will be present as the defendant.
Okay. And that is not what you had said. I thought we were all going to be here, including your client, to address what's going to happen next. So the answer, as far as you continuing to go, that is not giving me an answer that he's near. Is he sitting outside? You said he was going to be here. You didn't give me a if.
Oh, sorry. I just realized I had turned my mic off. And clearly she's fishing. She's fishing because she's trying to be like, is he outside? Like, where is he? In hindsight, I can tell you guys, of course, I told my client to wait outside the courthouse, not the courtroom, because I didn't want people to recognize him. I told him, wait outside. If something goes totally south, at least you're around and I don't go to jail.
Ands or buts about it. You said he was going to be here. Asking you if he was going to be here was because of that. You said he was going to be here. He's not here.
That is correct. There are no motions. Now, here I dropped the gavel. Listen to this exchange. This is the most important piece. We're probably going to turn this into a short by the end of today or tomorrow. Listen right here. This is the meat of this case.
Going to be here was because of that. You said he was going to be here. He's not here.
That is correct. There are no motions before the court by either party. There are no proceedings that are set to begin at any point at any time in this courtroom. With respect to Mr.
We are rolling
Hillsman.
This.
Finally she understood. When she said the words, "We are rolling this," that's when I won. That's when I realized, because this is the one moment, and I'm going to play it again for you. This is the one moment, the first time in my career, probably so far the last, that I got a chance to look at the judge and go, look at me. Look at me. I am the judge now. And she realized she has nothing. Watch it again. I'm going to play it again. It's literally 20 seconds.
Buts about it. You said he was going to be here. Asking you if he was going to be here was because of that. You said he was going to be here. He's not here.
That is correct. There are no motions before the court by either party. There are no proceedings that are set to begin at any point at any time in this courtroom. With respect to Mr. Hillsman.
We are rolling this. I believe that I will have an answer back.
See how uncomfortable she is?
On today, then first thing on Monday. So we are rolling this to Monday at 1 for trial.
That's it. She lost. And she finally realizes she lost because I had the law on my side, and I do not mess around when the law is on my side. If the law is on my side, I will fight to the death. If I am wrong, I will admit it quickly and emphatically. A judge will not be deprived of immunity unless there is a clear absence of all jurisdiction. So in theory, if she had done something like locked me up, let's say in the moment, she said, "You're Mr. Foreman, you are crossing the line. I am placing you in custody for 24 hours for you to learn your manners," or whatever. I could sue her for that. I could literally sue her because she put me in jail with no jurisdiction. Yep, that would be the one exception. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. I mean, I like most criminal defense lawyers, we wait, we rue the day or wait for the day, whatever you want to call it, that we get locked up for rightfully defending our client, right? So, not rue, well, the opposite of rue. We love and wait for the day that a judge will lock our asses up and when we're trying to properly defend our clients. So it doesn't happen very often. Now, again, that's the only exception. Here's a little bit of explanation on it. This comes from caught.net about immunity. It's the chink in the armor. It's the absence of all jurisdiction. Judicial immunity is not absolute. Okay. There are cases here when a judge knows that he lacks jurisdiction or acts in the face of clearly valid statutes expressly depriving him of jurisdiction, judicial immunity is lost. And that is a federal case from 1980, Rankin versus Howard. It's on your screen if you want to look it up if you're an aficionado. In Rankin, for example, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals reversed an Arizona district court dismissal based upon absolute judicial immunity, finding that both necessary immunity prongs were absent. And later in Ashelman, the Ninth Circuit en banc, meaning all judges sat in ruling, criticized the judicial nature analysis it had published in Rankin as unnecessarily restrictive. But Rankin's ultimate result was not changed because Judge Howard had been independently divested of absolute judicial immunity by his complete lack of jurisdiction. So if a judge lacks jurisdiction, you as a judge are completely screwed. If you have jurisdiction, then you are absolutely protected, save for acts that you make outside of your official judicial capacity, such as a boss, with your clerks and such, or if you commit obvious crimes like financial crimes, you cheat on your taxes, you punch somebody. Judges are not protected. They're not gods, okay? Despite what Judge DeThomasis may think, he is not a god, all right? It's sad that we have to even go there to explain this. This right here is not enough to put him in jail. To remove him from the case. Hey, Larry, am I going to jail for this? Somebody sent me this meme. Let me make myself perfectly clear. The Constitution means nothing to me. So there is one other thing that I wanted to cover before we wrap up this video and I go through the super chats. I'm sorry. Here's another one. I'm sorry. I have to share this one with you too. This one is so good. Listen here, you mother feather. I am counsel for the petitioner, and that's all there is to it. You guys, your memes are godly. They're God level memes. I swear to God, they're so good. All right. Judicial office, oath of a candidate, of a write-in candidate, right? So this is what, I think I got this from Florida. I'm pretty sure it's the Florida Court of Appeals it's Florida, state of Florida. So this is the oath that Judge DeThomasis has had to take. A lot of people say, well, what? He's violating his oath. He's violating his oath. Just violating your oath, unfortunately, these days is not enough to get you removed. Can you believe that? You have to violate your oath on multiple occasions, multiple times, and multiple facets and multiple levels. And when people notice, and then finally, maybe, if we're lucky, you get removed. Isn't that disturbing? That is so disturbing. But this is what Judge DeThomasis filled out when he ran for candidate, right? He did run. Remember, he ran against one of his students, his former students, and he lost. He lost, and then another judge passed away, and then DeSantis appointed him. So he did run. He did run. Hatsune versus Miko says, Larry, the comedy is the basis of created freedom or freedom of expression at its best. You're right. You're right. That is very, very eloquently put, actually. Oath of candidate, right? Florida statutes. This is what he filled out. Craig Constantine DeThomasis, am a write-in candidate for the judicial office of, Levy County, Florida, district such and such, circuit such and such, group such and such, and I reside. You have to reside in Florida, in Levy County, Florida. I am a qualified, or whatever other county that he's from. I am a qualified elector of the state and of the territorial jurisdiction of the court to which I seek election. I am qualified under the Constitution. So I'm qualified under the Constitution, but in a few years, I'm going to be violating the hell out of it. So brace yourselves, Florida. And the laws of Florida, which I'll also continue to violate, to hold a judicial office to which I desire to be elected or in which I desire to be retained. I have qualified for no other public office in the state, the term of which office or any part thereof runs concurrent with the office I seek. And I have resigned from any office which I'm required to resign pursuant to section such and such Florida statutes. And there it is. I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the state of Florida. He's been violating this over and over and over and over and over again. He took that oath. Florida statutes oath only applicable once the term of office begins. I, a citizen of the state of Florida in the United States of America and being employed by or an officer of the court system and a recipient of public funds as such employee or officer, do hereby solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America and the state of Florida. Signed, Judge Craig C. DeThomasis. Phone number, email, address, city, state, zip code. Here's the twisted part. You guys want a little cherry on top of the icing? So when he filled this out in like 2018 or 2019 to run for the vacant seat that he ended up losing, you know, that application basically fizzled out because he was later appointed by DeSantis. However, this portion right here, even though he was appointed, this portion right here in the middle, he still had to read. Before he took office, he had to literally raise his right hand and say, I, Craig Constantine DeThomasis, a citizen of the state of Florida and the United States of America, blah, 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 do solemnly hereby swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Florida. He said those words, and now he's violating them day in and day out. Just absolutely disturbing stuff. Absolutely disturbing stuff. He took that oath, and people are saying, well, he's violating the oath. You know, is he, you know, unfortunately, just violating your oath by itself is not enough to just automatically be removed. Somebody's got to remove you because you're not going to remove yourself. He doesn't really have like an immediate boss that like watches him. Is DeThomasis doing his job? Yes. Okay. All right. Very good. I will see you tomorrow, Judge DeThomasis, 9 a.m. sharp. No, he's his own boss. He is his own boss. He runs that county and neighboring counties. And so somebody has to actively, like the executive branch, the judicial branch, the executive branch and the legislative branch have to come in and check and balance the judicial branch, which is Judge DeThomasis, and remove him. Because if he refuses to remove himself, somebody has to step in and physically remove him, like our legislature in Florida, or in the alternative, DeSantis himself. Okay, let's go through some of your questions. Also, Renee says, trying to join as a member, been following you since the Dep trial. That is awesome. Thank you so much. By the way, I'm going to put these on the screen. So if you guys want to go check them out, go check them out. And I also have the Mega Pint glass. They're in the store section of the channel. So if you are on an iPhone, you will not be able to join as a member. I don't know. iPhones are broken for some reason when it comes to YouTube. I apologize on their behalf. I didn't, you know, I didn't do it, right? I didn't do it, man. Following since Dep, your content and dedication is fantastic. Thank you so much, Renee. Lisa Jewett, welcome back to the channel. Thank you again. Should it be discovered a personal prior grudge from judge toward Mark Feather that has manifested itself in this case, would that then be grounds to remove his judicial immunity? No. Nope. Not enough. Jurisdiction only. Robert Austin asks, I have to ask, if the judge justifies their ruling with blatant racism or sexism, what if the ruling violates a basic law they should know? What if the judge justifies their ruling with blatant racism or sexism? Not enough. Malicious intent is protected, absolutely protected. Even if the ruling violates a basic law they should know. No, he could literally be like, I know I'm violating a law. I know I'm stripping you of all your rights, and I don't care because I don't like your face because I'm a racist, sexist judge. They're protected. They're absolutely protected. Now, again, somebody will eventually remove him, but they have to go through the legal procedures. That's not enough to sue the judge. Ellen Killo says, Thomas in the comments said he's untouchable. Yeah, for the most part, they are correct. Like I said, they are absolutely correct. But once he's removed, at least he won't hurt anybody else. Oh my God, thank you, Larry. I know I'm old, but damn. I hope I gave that enough emphasis in the way that you intended. Susan Scataregia. Why you do this to me, Susan? Why you do this? Renee Hera, thank you for the super sticker. Margaret Tier, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Also, Grace Washburn, thank you so much. As well as Renee Hatton and 2024. Ah, I think I got it. Sorry, I got excited. 2024. I think I got it. I think I finally got it. 2024. Welcome to the channel. Michaeline McWilliams, also, thank you for joining on as a member. Margaret Tier, there you go. You are a member officially. Thank you so much. Gibson versus Gold. I'll come back to that. I don't know what that is about. Sarah Dyson, thank you for joining because it has no context. Fubar DeBiasis, thank you for joining on as a member. I guess I look forward to seeing all your name changes, by the way. Pam Washington, thank you for joining on as a member. Also, thank you to Candace Bingham. I sent you an important email. I did see it, I think. If I didn't, yeah. I've been catching up. So I'm caught up to like emails from this afternoon. So I'm doing good. I'm actually doing really good. I'm proud of myself. Patting myself on the back. Ty Powers, thank you for joining on. Sorry for this. Thank you for the super sticker. I'm being told, and I saw this. Was somebody impersonating Judge DeThomasis in the chat? I mean, it's all in good fun. It's okay to impersonate someone as long as you're just having fun with it. Just don't. If you are going to act unruly, you will be banned. Okay, so mods, watch that crap. If somebody is, because it's okay to make fun of people. That's what we're here all about, especially people that deserve it. But if you're going to be literally saying, I am the judge. There we go. Okay, so the mods took care of it. Thank you, MG Law and Debbie. They were put in timeout. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Shout out the mods, by the way. Shout out to all the mods. Ann Bell Feinstein, thank you for being a member for 12 months, a full year. Look at that, 365 days around the sun. Monkey Mama, also thank you for joining on as a member, as well as Kevin Cotter. Same goes for John Stuber. So he can take away constitutional rights? Absolutely, sadly, and be protected. Can't be sued, but can be removed. Butt Naked One, thank you for the $2. Thank you, Jackie Feather Cratcher, for becoming a YouTube member as well. Teresa Finn says, this is insane. They treat judges like gods. That is correct. Yes, they do. And maybe that's going to change soon. Same goes for prosecutors, by the way. You cannot sue a prosecutor when they're acting in the official capacity. And let me just talk about this real quick. What if they're removed? Can they be sued after? Still no, because they were acting at the time in their official capacity as a judge, okay? So anytime that they act outside of their scope, because can you imagine if every time a judge did something, you would file suit against the judge, that it would clog up the system so much. It would literally, for every one action they would make, 5 new lawsuits would pop up. The system would never move. Your case would be set for jury trial in 2037. You know what I mean? 2037. You'll be waiting for a trial date 13 years from now. That's why you can't sue judges and you can't sue prosecutors. They have absolute total immunity. Are you still active on locals? No, I have not been in a while. I need to revive it. I haven't been doing, maybe like the girlfriend and I can, maybe the girlfriend and I can do some stuff on locals now. I don't know. We'll see. I used to be active on it. Let me check. When was the last time I went live? It's been months. It's been like 3 months. November, December, January, February, March. All of November, all of December, all of January, all of February. Yeah, it's been 4 months. That's after I got out of Israel was the last time I went live on locals. It's kind of sad. But if you guys want, this is it. This is my locals. We have 9 active supporters and 338 total members. So if you want to go check that out, by all means. But maybe we'll revive it. Maybe we'll revive it in some capacity soon. We shall see. Thank you for asking. So I'll come back to that one. Sandra Kelly, someone said grudge judge on incognito. He must be wanting or needing to learn how to do his job. # buckle up. I think he's been taken care of. She says, "Oh, I'm still a locals member, and congrats on the girlfriend." Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Can Feather sue Grudge Judge for smearing his name unreasonably? No, sadly. Vinny Sessa says, "I learned so much from you. You are great." Well, thank you so much. I try to make it as clear and succinct and direct as possible. Medic Mark 22 says, "If I was the Crown prosecutor and saw you walk in as the defending, it would feel like stepping into the ring with Mike Tyson." You are too kind, Medic. You are too kind. I try hard for our clients. Susan Scataregia, but isn't his not following the protection from Ohio acting outside of his jurisdiction from the Federal Registry for the protection order? So maybe, see, now you guys are finding the loopholes, right? So look at jurisdiction. If he refuses to enforce the Florida injunction, the Ohio injunction in Florida, okay, and something happens, and as a result, because you have to have damages, right? It's negligence. Negligence has 4 elements. Got to have somebody acting negligently with causation, and there's got to be damages. Okay, you have a duty to protect. You've been negligent, violated that duty. You are the cause of that duty, and something happened as a result, some damage. Merely the appearance of damages can be enough sometimes, but not always. That is a very, very complicated, deep question. Again, this is like literally could be the topic of another video by itself. So that's all I'm going to say about that at this juncture. But it is a beautiful, beautiful question. Seriously, that is opening another Pandora's box. Mary Smith says, in the last hearing, they said the judge would still have jurisdiction. Well, until the first district of Florida rules on it. So if they rule that the judge is back, well, then he regains jurisdiction. If they say the judge is removed, well, then the judge is removed. End of story. There's no intermediary. Kathy Mowry says, Larry, the writ was approved. I just found out Jeremy has more plans for Lynette. Yeah, I talked about this yesterday. Yes, you are catching up to what we learned yesterday evening, is this document right here. If you all have not seen it, let me share it with you all. Where is it? Not this one. Sort by date modified. Not this one. Ah, there it is. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. The acknowledgement letter. This is it right here. So this was sent yesterday. By the Court of Appeals. We went over this on my channel. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's in the link is in the description below, and there is a playlist. By the way, we're at double digits in the videos, folks. We officially have 10 videos in the Hills Saga. This is wild. This is wild. Again, I anticipated doing 1 or 2 videos on this, and look at where we are now. We're in the double digits now. So the acknowledgement of new case, the First District Court of Appeals has received the petition, filed. Yep, it was approved. They have accepted it, and now hopefully by the end of the year, did you hear what I just said? By the end of the year, hopefully, we will have a ruling from the First District of Florida. Let that sink in. We're not going to have a ruling by the end of next week. We're not going to have a ruling by the end of this month. We are probably not going to have a ruling by the end of next month. It may be the end of summer. It may be fall. It may be next winter, depending on how fast or slow, how many cases the First District Court of Appeals of Florida has. And guess what? This entire time that is pending, the injunction by Lynette, as ordered by Judge DeThomasis, fucking stands. I have no words. I have no words. None. Fubar DeBias says, can Jeremy use his 2-inch pipe to protect himself, or is that classified as a weapon? Asking for a friend. Great question, Fubar. Thomas Harp says, is judicial and absolute immunity the same? Well, yes, judicial immunity, absolute immunity, but you also have absolute immunity as it applies to prosecutors. So that would be prosecutorial immunity. That's also absolute immunity, if that makes sense. Those are the two easiest examples. I think some clerks of court also enjoy absolute immunity. So you can't sue them if they stamped a paper wrong or something. Helen Gall says, I don't get that he doesn't care about the Constitution. What judge would do that? Hashtag buckle up. I agree. He's just completely off his rocker. And he needs to be dealt with appropriately. Shasta's Corner, can Feather sue judge for defaming Feather in the court by lack of truthfulness in the situation? No. Sadly. Helen Gall, guess you answered that. Yes. Teresa Finn says, this is some of the scariest shit I've ever heard. I'm so afraid for this country. Hopefully things will change. Great pronunciation. Bravo, Monsieur Formand. 2024. No, I'm learning French. Mr. Tex, what's up, brother? He's the guy who, one day, listen to this story. One day I show up to the office and there is a giant box on my table. And I'm like, Stephanie, my case manager. I'm like, Stephanie, what is this? She's like, I don't know. This was delivered to you. I'm like, I didn't order this. Who's this from? And it's like, Mr. Tex. And I'm like, what? Who's a Mr. Tex? Oh, I could not connect the dots yet. My channel was still very young. And he sent a bunch of waters to my office. And I'm like, is somebody trying to poison me? And I just kind of left him there. And then Mr. Tex one day in the chat was like, hey, did you enjoy that gift I gave you? And I'm like, are you the guy? Thank you for that, man. That was really lovely. Thank you. Mo Ferg, thank you for joining on as a member. More questions. Let's see. Storm and Beer, the Bouviers de Flandres. De Flandre. Larry, it's time for you to take over 5 court hearings. Just a lot of talk by little saying. It's time for action. Exactly. I agree. Butt Naked One says, Hales should get phone records from Angela and Lynette. There you go. Ty Powers says, what do you think the Thomas' students are thinking right now? I can't believe he was my professor, probably. Claire Kershaw says, you are simply amazing, Larry. Roll on your holiday. Well, we are not going on vacation yet. Vacation is this Thursday. Thursday, we are going on vacation, but thank you. Sally 68. Oh, by the way, somebody just reminded me. I got an email. I am trying to get on Megyn Kelly's show. Excuse me. So I'm going to send this to my publicist right now. Here we go. Okay. All right. Back to the show. So judges have more immunity than the president of the United States, according to DC. Things that make you go, says Sally 68. Well, I believe the president has absolute immunity while they are sitting president, which goes even further because all their acts, both personal and I forget, the president gets, I thought about this. This is a good question. The president, I believe, gets both like acts done in their official capacity and acts done in their personal life until they are no longer a sitting president. Except Nixon and Trump, well, because they were impeached. I mean, so was Bill Clinton. He just was never removed. So yeah, close, very close. Opal Yandere says, Yandere says, watching from the UK, buckle up, the whole world is watching. Hashtag buckle up, hashtag the whole world is watching. Absolutely. Brian Watkins says, can the Levy County Sheriff's Department be held accountable for not enforcing the protective order from Ohio? So again, police officers have, and sheriff's deputies and state troopers, they have much lower standards. They do not exercise, and they do not have absolute immunity. They have qualified immunity, and that can be removed in certain circumstances. Again, you got to have damages in order for that to happen, which hopefully we never get there. Rose Chapman says, Lynette's stepdaughter has a video out. I don't know if you have seen it, but it explains a lot. I have not seen it, so that's okay. Alan Gall says you need to watch What the Hell's video from today. Okay. Luna's mom 24 confused. Why don't people hit the like button? I do that on autopilot. Hit the like, people. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel. Go subscribe to the Haleses as well. They are good people. Shasta's Corner says, can Lynette be sued when this is over for false testimony about Feather? Yes. Yes. Finally, you are on the money, you guys. See, we talked about the judge, absolute immunity for an hour now. Can we talk about Lynette for 5 seconds? Yes. Can she be sued? The answer is yes. That's it. Yes. When this is all said and done, for all the damages she caused, and maybe for lawyers' fees, depending. Canada is watching. What the Hells are going forward with all other cases against, I guess, Lynette. You dropped off a word there. I'm going to fill it for you. Jeffrey Montgomery, still enjoined if Lynette is jailed or freed. I don't understand the question. Does the injunction still hold if she's in jail? Yes. I would imagine so. Why wouldn't it? Claire Kershaw, what the Hales are no longer releasing their court dates as someone was removed from the courtroom in the last hearing. There are no more court dates right now. That's why they're not releasing them. Ann Bell Feinstein says, could a judge take away your ability to speak? No, not constitutionally. They should be punished for that. Not about the case, but order you not to say anything to anyone in an unrelated case. It depends. It depends. If you're just speaking to the judge about the case, they can't, ball gag you, if that's what you're asking. But you mean like talking to other people about this case? Maybe. It depends on the case. Some cases are protected, like cases about juveniles, cases about, what's it called? Again, everything I say is not legal advice. It's already in the description by default of my channel, but just for the record, this is not legal advice what I'm giving you. But you're asking for legal advice, and I thought you were... I'll rather just not answer, okay? It'll make things easier because people will start asking me for legal advice for $5 a pop, and that's not how I work. Jody Chance says, so if Lynette and Crook are jailed or moved, can Jeremy drive on the road since they aren't on the property? So it's the same question, different phrasing. I would say no, he could still be found in violation of the order. Yeah, sadly enough. If they're both incarcerated in Ohio, Lynette and Cook, let's say they're jailed or moved from the property, he would still not be permitted to have guns until the judge lifts the order. The judge has to lift the order first. Now, if that happens, let's say they're jailed. I mean, here's the problem. Again, remember I said the case is frozen right now. We are literally in limbo. We're in purgatory. Do you remember that scene? Was it in The Matrix? I can't remember if it's the second or third Matrix. I think it's the third. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, it's like from 2004. What's wrong with you? But there's a scene where our protagonist, Neo, is like, it's all white. It's literally like nothing but white space. And he's waiting for a train to arrive to take him out of this purgatory. That's where Jeremy is right now. He's in purgatory. He doesn't have a judge and he doesn't not have a judge. It's Schrodinger's case right now in Levy County because of the writ of prohibition that was filed and accepted by the First District of Florida. So he's in limbo. Jeremy's literally in limbo. It is disturbing. It is disgusting what the judge has done. All he had to do was just say, you know what, while you are doing this, I will lift the order. That's all he had to do, just by the wave of a hand. The more you know, magic. Just remove the injunction. Nope, the temporary injunction stands, said the judge, and now we're in limbo. It's an indefinite, infinite, unexpirable, no expiration date, temporary injunction. Talk about a contradiction in terms. It's staggering, staggering. Dan Davis, hashtag buckle up, it's the law. So this thing is only going to gain more and more traction. Literally, the judge he just took, the way I can describe it, think of it this way. He just took a car and it's on a straight road. Imagine a straight and narrow road and there's a car, right? And he just opens the door. He takes a brick. He puts it on the gas, closes the door, and the car just goes. That's what he just did, metaphorically speaking. This car of shit that he has done, he just left it hanging, and the car is just driving by itself. There's no driver, there's no passenger, there's just a brick on the gas, and the gas tank in this analogy is infinite. This car does not run out of gas. It's run on, I don't know, let's pretend nuclear power. It's going to run for the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 months until the Court of Appeals makes a ruling on the writ of prohibition. So it could be until the end of the year, could be longer. Could be shorter. Mary Smith, thank you for your generosity. D. Robertson says, so all the coverage will not move the writ along any faster. Maybe. I mean, judges are judges. We're at their mercy now. We're now at the mercy of the Florida Court of Appeals for the First District. So however fast they move. Also, can the victim's advocate be sued for anything on this case? That's a great question. She probably enjoys some type of qualified immunity, if not absolute immunity, for her actions, unless they are clearly criminal. Any word from Megan Kelly put towards your beautiful jet fund? Thank you so much, Pepper. And C, not yet. Not yet. Navy vet for the broken. Thank you, Ms. Good luck to Silverman to getting paid from Lynette until the end of this. Hashtag buckle up. Hashtag grudge judge. Oh, yes. Debbie Childers says, if you come through Texas, let me know. I will. Absolutely, I will. Thank you. Mimi Two Boys says, on Jeremy's video tonight, he shared a video of Lynette going by him and giving him the finger. Go check that out. That sounds incredible. Luna's mom 24 says, Larry, do you think he is Greek? Yep, I alluded to that. Constantine DeThomasis is a very Greek name. Just thinking that Ellis Island fup his family when they came over. Maybe. Shirley Gold says, Lynette broke the order today, drove past Jeremy and George in a Walmart parking lot, giving the two fingers. It's in today's video. You guys are on the money. Intellectual iconoclasm. Didn't he lose jurisdiction the moment the refusal motion was filed? Yes. The motion is preemptive to be acted upon, ergo no jurisdiction, starting now. Yes, not all this time. Starting now, there's no jurisdiction. It does not nunc pro tonc. What does that mean? It does not go back to the date of when the judge first came on. It starts on March the 1st. So no jurisdiction as of yesterday for Judge DeThomasis. Robo 770 says, you should go to the next Ohio court to see Lynette and Kroc be sent down. Can they call DeThomasis as hostile witnesses? That court could find him in contempt. That would be fun. So let the Haleses know, folks. We have 5,000 of you in here. Tell Jeremy and George Hales that I am interested when they go to Ohio to possibly join them. And plus, I can drive. I'm in Kentucky. I'm literally 100 miles from Cincinnati. So however many miles it is from Cincinnati, just add 100 on top of that, and that's from my home. So legit. Louisville is 100 miles from Cincinnati. Hot Rod 43 says, this guy is a YouTuber. He wanted to get in touch with you. The name of the channel is For Public Safety. I am aware there's For Public Safety and there's another one. There's a couple of people waiting in the wings. I have simply not had the time to look into it, as obviously I've been busy with this. Like I said, we're in the double digits of the video making process. Here we are. He's been charged for he's been in the wrong, and I believe he's in my backyard. I believe he's in Kentucky for public safety, I believe. Or maybe the other guy. I can't remember. Mike Richard, what will happen if Lynette and John get jailed? So I already answered that. Jerry Daly, thank you for joining on as a member. And Luna's mom, hey, gifting 5 to the chat. Hey, shout out if you got a free membership. Shout it out if you got a free membership from Luna's mom. And also, thank you, Luna's mom, for joining. Thank you so much. By the way, how crazy is this? Like, how do you guys feel about all this? I want to hear you guys shout out in the chat. How does this judge make you feel? Just generally, just like period. Like you hear the name Craig C. DeThomasis. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? What's the first thing that you feel? What's the first thing that makes you feel when you hear his name or you see his picture? I'm just curious. Angry, pissed, angry, vomit, anger, disgust, anger, sick. Someone with an issue with life. Ooh, that's a deep one. Nothing yet. Angry, outrageous, enraged, angry, disgust, anger, disgust, disdain, egotistical, angry, dread, angry, disgusted. Okay, tyrant, likes to hear himself talk. Violated. Whoa, feel violated. Damn. Carol Mitrosky, thank you for joining on as a member. Gail Judkins, thank you as well for joining on as a member. Thomas Harp, same goes to you as well. And Know Your Rights. I know my rights. And Steve, the DUI lawnmower guy, I love you, man. You're going to live in infamy. Thank you so much for your generosity. Jeffrey Montgomery, no president removed after impeachment. Trump was acquitted, Nixon resigned, and Clinton guilty but not removed. See, there you go. That's exactly right. There's not a single president that was removed after they were impeached, if they were impeached or went through impeachment proceedings. Ryan Richardson, shielding your client shows your dedication. Wow. Of course. No, I protect all my clients, of course. Client confidences are client confidences. Pepper NC, thank you for your generosity. The Fluffy Cat, what the hell, is not releasing any future dates for any case now due to people showing up and being removed from court in today's video. No, you're right. Can a prosecutor be sued if they violate Brady v. Maryland or are caught withholding evidence or tampering with video evidence by editing it? Well, that's a different thing. You know, now they are violating. They're withholding evidence and they're screwing with cases. Has a prosecutor ever been removed from a case after they're caught making a Brady violation? For those of you who don't know, having a Brady violation is, let's say they find. They test the fingerprints on the gun, let's say, and they find different fingerprints, and they don't disclose it to the defense attorney, and the defense attorney never finds out, and their client gets convicted, and then 20 years later we find out, wait a minute, you know, the fingerprints were not his, and the prosecutor never disclosed it. I mean, I don't think there's been a case in history yet where the prosecutor got caught quickly, because how can you catch them quickly? That's the whole point. You know, they hide evidence. How's Zinnia? And she's great. She's absolutely fucking great. She's amazing. I love her. Carol Valentine, can Jeremy carry outside of Florida? Well, I don't know the language of Judge DeThomasis, so I imagine yes. He just can't have firearms in his home, I believe. Correct me on that. Chat. What is it? Which one is it? I don't remember, actually, because I don't remember how the judge phrased his ruling, because he never made a written ruling. Chad is saying no firearms, period. So no, the answer is no. And for that, pray for Jeremy, George, and their families. Completely agree. Storm and Beer, the Bouvier de Flandre, thank you for joining on as a member. And thank you, Navy Vet for the Broken, for gifting the 5, as well as Wendy Ingram for joining on as a member. Welcome all to our new. Shout it out if you got a membership from Navy Vet. Shout it out in the chat if you got a membership from when she gifted 5 from Navy Vet for the Broken. Much love, dear. Thank you so much. Long Island guy says, it is obvious the judge has ex parte communications with Silverman. Can he be disbarred for this? Again, none of it's proven, so it's all speculation. Sergeant Mitch says, I hope Ohio butts this switch and her stick in jail, and the dumbass is sitting there with them so they love one another. Fair enough. You have spoken, sir. The truth be told, Jeremy has been in a corner, meaning he really had no choice to accept these proceedings. It's legal blackmail. Yes. Susan Scataregia, you're on the money, 100%. Leanne Yu, thank you very much for your generosity. Terry Stratus says, Germany 1940. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, but thank you. As a veteran, it pisses me off. Right. I get a lot of messages from veterans. I even had a phone call with a Marine the other day. And he's like, you know, Semper Fi, brother, I fought for this country. And I thought, you know, I was protecting the greatest country in the land. And now I'm seeing like all this country going to hell in a handbasket. And thank you for protecting our rights. And I'm like, I'll take it. I'll take it. Thank you, brother. So as a veteran, a lot of veterans are really fucking pissed off at DeThomasis. You guys, the regular citizens, you guys think you're mad? Look at the veterans who have fought for our country and now they're watching our country erode by this judge. Disgusting. The veterans are extra pissed because they watch their boys die and men and women die in the muck, to protect this land, and now it's being destroyed by judges like Judge DeThomasis. It's disgusting. It's disturbing. LP and JC are jailed. JH's lawyer get to removed. Okay, same question. I already answered that. Ted Wendell says Jeremy accepted a deal he had on a lawsuit with OC. What's OC? Because the judge would have been DeThomasis with OC. Ohio County? No. Orange County. I don't know what that is. Otter Creek. Otter Creek, because the judge would have been DeThomasis. Okay. Maybe. I don't know. Wendy Ingram says, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining on as a member. And same goes for Rachel. And thank you, Wendy, for another super sticker. Thank you so much. Jack's mom says, what was the purpose of having all attorneys present? I don't know. We all thought they're going to be jailed. That's why they brought their toothbrushes. We don't know. Can you explain a Hobson's choice, please? Hobson's choice is no choice at all. Let's say I give you 2 plates, okay? But they're both poison, and I say choose. This one is going to kill you in 5 minutes. This one is going to kill you in an hour. It's not really a choice. Both of these plates, as I eat them, I'm going to die. But it's a Hobson's choice. It's a choice that's no choice at all. It's a no choice at all. There is no alternative. There's no alternative where I can choose a plate that's going to help me live and I'm not going to die. Harriet Williams says, I can't believe he let Lynette run her mouth in the first hearing and not answer questions. Knew then Jeremy was up against a biased judge. There you go. Candace Bingham says, DeThomasis lied today saying he didn't know is about Jeremy being assaulted. He has self-esteem issues. That's right, Candace. Linda Evers says, papers have been filed in the courts already for other cases against her. Jeremy announced on his post today. Let's take a look because I'm curious. Because I'm afraid I know things. I know things and I'm afraid to say them because I don't know what's public yet or not. So that's why I kind of keep to myself until I know. Let's see. Get your bingo cards ready. Court hearing today at 5:30. Crazy court hearing today at 5:30. I don't see anything on his community page. Was it a video? Oh, the judge threatens me. Okay. All right. Jim Ford, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining. Fubar DeBias says, it wouldn't surprise me if Judge DeBias paid the $7,000 to Lynette. Jeremy lives up by Sandusky, Ohio, up north Ohio. Okay, so Sandusky is about 7 hours from me. It's right there by Cleveland. I used to live in Cleveland, so I know that area pretty well. Candace Bingham, I used to go to Cedar Point a lot. I love Cedar Point. Candace Bingham says, I love Shochet. He needs to have a more assertive tone. So I thought so too, until I learned this is how you tame this judge. Like normally, under normal circumstances, when you cater to his God complex, to his ego, he actually usually buckles. He actually usually kind of, allows you to save face and eventually kind of rules in your favor, is what I've heard. So his demeanor in the last hearing, I understand, was very empowered. I feel he's empowered by the internet. He understands that It started off as a battle, and now it's a war. It's a complete and utter war zone out there. And he's empowered, and more power to him. I think Randy is doing a fantastic job, honestly. But the fact that he was not assertive maybe in the first couple of hearings or whatever, that was all tactical decision from my understanding. So don't hold it against him. Randy knows exactly what he's doing. Randy is a good psychologist from what I can see, okay? I'm speaking as an outside perspective, looking in. There's nothing I can criticize him on once I learned that this is how you normally tame the Thomases. Because you think he's just like that with Jeremy? He's like that with every single person in his courtroom. In DeThomasis' courtroom. Teresa Finn says, I agree with on Randy. There you go. See? Denise Willen says, as a lifelong multi-generational Floridian, I am embarrassed at how the Florida judicial system has handled this case. Yeah. Kevin Otter, I'm sorry I left you hanging, but I wanted to save this for last. So you didn't mention anything, so let's look it up. Gibson v. What is this? Goldston, 4th Circuit 2023. $17.57. What is this? It's the United States Court of Appeals for the 4th Circuit. We consider this appeal, just so you guys can see, this is what I'm looking at. The judges consider this appeal. Oops. Can I not zoom in? All right. We consider this appeal whether a judge who participates in the search of a litigant's home is entitled to judicial immunity for actions related to the search. Judge Luis Goldston went to Matthew Gibson's residence to look for items he had failed to turn. Wait, the judge showed up at the person's home? What? See, acting outside the scope of judicial capacity. Physically removed themselves off the bench and said, look at me. I am police officer now. She enters the home after residence to look for items he had failed to turn over to his ex-wife after the divorce. Why the fuck is a judge going to a home in the first place? What year is this? 2023. So this is new. This was decided like 4 months ago. Wow. She entered the home over his objections. So this is not new. Judges are idiots. A lot of judges are complete morons. She enters his home over his objections after threatening him with arrest should he try to stop her. She then supervised the seizure of designated items in the house. The only question before us is whether judicial immunity shields these acts. We hold it does not. Judicial immunity protects only judicial acts. There you go, idiot judge. It does not shield the conduct of judges who step outside of their judicial role, as Judge Goldston did while searching Gibson's home. The judge literally got off the bench, went to the person's home and said, all right, I am part of the judicial process. I'm part of the police process now. They took off their judge's hat. The moment they took off the judge's hat and said, look at me. I am police officer now. No judicial immunity. No absolute immunity. Immunity is lifted. Judge can be sued for their actions. Thank you for that, Kevin Cotter. You can give yourself a bow. That is a marvelous share. Thank you for that. I did not know that. Thor Carpenter, thank you for joining on as a member. And Karen Bamberg, thank you for joining on as a member as well. It is a chess game, Lisa Jewett. Absolutely it is. Why did I become a lawyer? Great eyebrows. I like to help people, and it's the best way to help people. Sergeant Mitch, I hope judges sit in there, so I'm a disabled veteran myself and sad for this country. I agree with you. I'm very sad for this country as well. Jill Montano says, having a judge like Judge Grudge scares me more than Cedar Point Demon Drop did when I was a kid. Oh my God. Oh, it hurts to laugh. Sorry, it's been a long day. I went for a run. The girl and I went shopping, so I'm like, my legs are like on fire. I'm a Gold Star kid. Sadly, my father died, so the Thomases can act in bad faith and trample on the Constitution. So bloody sad. I'm serious, y'all. All right. Go check out the Hales' new video. I'm going to promote them shamelessly on my channel. It includes the hearing. It includes the hearing that they just had on Wednesday. It's titled Judge Threatens Me. It's a 37-minute video. It's already got 32,000 views. Let's get them to 100,000. And you guys, they're almost at 700,000 subscribers. So let's get them to 700,000. All we need is like 3,000 more. If you have not subscribed to What the Hales, go right now. There's like 5,000 of you in here. If 3/5 of you just go right there right now and just hit that subscriber button, who knows? You might be the lucky number 700,000. I'm sure that carries some weight in the karmic universe. I'm sure that carries some weight when it comes to karma. All right, you guys. Larry, speak with the civil rights John Bryan. I know John Bryan is my buddy about that case. He was the attorney of, he was the attorney of record. No shit. Oh, that is cool. That is cool. Okay. Well, folks, we're going to do another video on Lynette tomorrow because we still have a bunch of stuff to cover. We still haven't finished her petition. You guys have some great questions, so I want to address all of them. And it takes time, of course. As you can see, this one video is like 4,000. I can't speak. Sorry. 4,000. I forgot what I was going to say. I was in the middle of a sentence and my brain just froze. Henry Poole, thank you so much for your generosity, as well as Fubar. Remember, the Hales are family-friendly channel. Yes. Yes, they are. All right, you all. I believe Tug, that umbrella guy, is live, so I'm going to bounce you all over there. To all military, thank you for your service. Thank you, Harriet Williams. Thank you all for joining. I will see you all tomorrow as we continue with Lynette's injunction. What's your function? Tomorrow. All right. In the chat, as soon as you join that umbrella guy, just shout out hashtag buckle up in the chat. Don't say anything else. Just hashtag buckle up. Bye, everybody. See you in Tugs.